Konnichiwa, my gamers. So, yesterday, we talked about Yoimiya. Today, we be talking about the ninja Sayu, who has a claymore, and it's adorable because they shrink the claymore down to be able to fit on her back. I love that. Imagine like a dragon's grave or a gravestone just sitting there all small. She got her attack animation. I like the end of it with the that, yeah. All right, let's do a quick overview of her abilities and how they work. Now, she's a lot more complicated than the other characters than Yoimiya that we talked about yesterday. So we got the normal attack. We have the Yuhu Art Fuin Dash. And that's where if you press it, she just goes forward and does like a swing attack. Look at my mouse. It does a wah, wah. It just does like that. But if you hold it, then she'll go wah and roll around in a ball. And then when you press it again, she'll go wah and do the slash attack. It also does bonus damage depending on the element, depending on if you get an elemental absorption, as you can see down here. It also all of her abilities scale off of attack, so you want to build her for damage. But what I was gonna say beforehand is that the max duration is dependent on how long you hold the ability, how long you roll around in a ball. So it can go 6.0 seconds for just doing the slash or just rolling around for like a second. And if you keep going and keep going and keep going, then can go up to 10 seconds. I don't know why it says to 11 seconds here. I guess we'll see in a second. I can find out. Then you have the ultimate, which is probably the most complicated part, but it's not really. Just a little bit. So the way that it works is that when you throw it out, it will either do one of two things. It will either attack nearby enemies or heal a person below 70% of their maximum HP. And if there's no enemies nearby and somebody's has 70% HP or higher, then it'll keep healing them up until they're 100% HP. And it'll just keep healing, and just that's the base mode that it'll just sit in. Now, this also, the healing and the damage also scales on her attack. And I'm sure I mentioned it before, but if there's no one that's being healed by her, then it will enter a damage mode and it'll smack the person nearest to it, and it will do AoE damage. So if it smacks one person, it'll do like a burst of anemo damage in a AoE around him, an area of effect, if anyone doesn't know what that means. And it'll hurt the people around as well. Now, the passive talents that they have, the first one's called Someone More Capable, and it's not crazy, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to have. So whenever she does a swirl effect, it heals a nearby person by 300 HP. I'm pretty sure that happens with her as well. It doesn't say here. Let's see, when Sayu heals all of your characters nearby. Yep. So it also heals her. Heals everyone in your party for 300, and that can happen every 2 seconds. Heals an additional amount, so it does more than 300 depending on how much your elemental mastery is. So if you have like 400 elemental mastery, it'll be like 460 healing plus 300 healing on top of that, and you can trigger that every 2 seconds. Now, if we go on to the next one, so that was just kind of nice. This one's also fairly nice as well. So when you're healing a character, it will also heal the characters near that are healed. So this is more of a and it's healed for 20% of their maximum HP. So when you have your ultimate out, it only heals one of your people that's on the field. It only heals that person. Now, whenever this is more of like co-op mode. You have a bunch of people. So this is nice for that, but I mean, some people don't even use co-op mode, so this doesn't really affect them too much. But it also increases the AoE damage for people for whenever it's not healing, which is nice. And this is the crazy thing that everyone's gonna want Sayu for, because this basically makes wildlife not run away from you the moment you get near them. And it's pretty funny, they decided to put a little butterfly thing there, the little Cecily, I believe it's called. Just because those are the most annoying things in the entire game to try to collect, because the moment they see you, if you collect one of them, then you'll have the 4 others fly into the atmosphere to burn up by the sun. And you can't, there's not a lot of characters that have the hops in order to catch them. So it's very annoying, especially for mobile players. But let's get a little gameplay. Now, the one thing that I ran into a problem with Sayu is whenever you roll like this, sometimes you get stuck on geometry. Like, it's not gonna show it now, of course. But look, you can do like, that's a little slash. But sometimes it gets stuck on geometry. For example, when I was first playing this to test her out, I got stuck on this and I could not move, and it would not let me go over this little hump. And that's kind of sucky, because that happens a lot whenever you're playing. If anyone plays like a bow character a lot, they'll understand the struggles of aiming down sights with a bow and then like not being able to move at all. You'll just be stuck here aiming down sights even though you're trying to walk to the left. It's very annoying. But let's show this off. So if we just tap it and see the cooldown, see we have about a 6-second cooldown. And it does like a swirl effect, of course, because it's animo. Now let's just hold this down. Once you hold it down for a second, you don't have to hold it down anymore. But let's see how long this goes up. Alright, yeah, about 11 seconds, I'd say. I didn't really get to see. But let's dodge this, pop the ult. There's a little burst of animo, a swirl effect. I believe it heals for that burst as well. And then it starts just going ham since I have a high health, and it's doing animo, like an animo AoE, as I was saying before. Now let's get a little weak. Go on, just below 70. Let's pop this, and look, it healed me whenever I popped it. So yeah, it heals, but that's not a good representation. Shit. Die. And away I go. Now, we're not talking about team comps yet, but as you can tell, she's very fun to play. And she looks busted here, but this is of course gonna show her off to make her look busted no matter what. Get a little weaker, please. Hit me. All right. Gotta pop my ult. Does a burst of healing. Look, it's healing me instead of attacking that guy. Now I'm above 70. Boom. Does that AoE hit? And roll around, smack the boy. Whoops. Now, the good thing about her, we're not talking about team comps yet, but as you can tell, if you pop this and maybe some of this, this becomes busted as fuck. Look at that. I got a tornado following me. And it changes it gives me that bonus. So right now we're fighting slime, so I always have that swirl bonus. But when rolling around, it gives us that, you know, that bonus just because it has that fire tornado following us constantly. So if there's no, see, look, I'm stuck. As I was saying before, I got stuck there. But if you have, like, if we're not fighting against slimes and you have someone like Kaya Xingling, then you can have just a fire tornado to buff your animo. And because of that, let's get into artifacts. The Venereer Viridescent set is probably going to be her best one. You could go like something like the healing set that's also found in the same domain. But since she's based off of damage and stuff, and she's animo, like this is typically the #1 animo thing you're gonna want to run on her. Now, you probably could run the new set, the the new set that gives you makes your ultimate do more damage, but I don't think that's really necessary. It's it's found in Inazuma. I don't remember what it's called. You could try that out, but this is probably gonna be her best one no matter what. I'm scratching my nose. Sorry about that. Probably hear my mic, like my voice getting all weird. What's happening? I pressed a weapon. What in God's name is happening? I pressed weapon. Where? What the fuck? Okay. I don't have her, but let's look at weapons. Now, they seems like they're showing off the best ones for her. This is a really good one. Favonius Greatsword. You get energy so you can have your ultimate up more often, have that healing up a lot more. But if you're just looking for something to meme around with, you know, have a little bit of fun, do not pass up the Sacrificial Greatsword. This gives you, so after you damage an opponent, first it gives you energy recharge for your ultimate. So it already does what Favonius Greatsword does, just at a lesser amount. See, this gives energy recharge as well. Let's go over Favonius Greatsword first, in case nobody knows what it does. So crits have an 80% chance to generate a small amount of elemental particles, which will generate 6 energy for the character, and can only occur once every 9 seconds. It says 9 because I leveled this up to level 3. Typically it's 12 seconds and it's 60%, but since I leveled this up 3 times, it's higher. But let's go into, so that's good for charging up your ultimate. Let's go here, Sacrificial Greatsword, good for charging the ultimate, but also after damaging an opponent with an elemental skill, the skill has a 60% chance to end its own cooldown. It can only occur once every 22 seconds. Now let's go to, do I have, yeah, I have a normal one. So it's normally 40% with a 30% with, it can occur every 30 seconds. Now, the reason I call this a meme type of build is because her elemental skill is the ball. Now, it's not on a long cooldown or anything, but you could be rolling around for forever. You could be rolling around for so long. I'm not sure if that will work exactly, because it's like a hold ability, if it'll reset it while you're still using it. But if anyone has her and wants to try that out, I feel like that would be so fun. Such a fun thing to do. Just always have the roll up and always be able to swirl and body people. Let's see if it'll let me back in and not break my game. That's so weird. Will it do it if I do it again? Nope. Look at her hold it. So you're gonna want mostly a Viridescent Venereer set. Yeah, if I'd say leveled up, if you wanted to know how to level up your character, like what to level up, you don't really need the basic attacks unless you're gonna main her. But I'd say go for the dash, obviously, and the ultimate. Now, which one to level up more? If you're just going for strictly for the healing aspect or for the support aspect, you just level up the ultimate and then you can do the dash after. If you're doing it for fun, then I'd level up the dash first and the ultimate like right behind it. Like when you have the dash level 6, you'd have the ultimate at level 5 type of thing. Just because, you know, this is a lot funner than just throwing out your Baron Bunny and having it destroy stuff. Let's leave this, actually. Let's leave this. Now, because she is a support character, you can use her basically with anyone. Like any damage, like literally Yam Yao, you can, Ayaka, Eula, Hutao, Ganyu, anyone. She is viable with anyone. Now, if her best people would be people that they showed off already, would be people that have something that follows around you. For example, Zingling that has the tornado, the fire staff that follows around you, and Kaya that has the ice following around you. Other people that might do that, let's see. You can do someone like Xin Yan just to get a shield up, and if you have her encore, see, it's called the Rave. If you have Rave going, it does the pyro burst and an AoE around you, so that will have a similar effect to Zingling, but it will also give you a shield, which would be nice. You could go Zhongli just for a shield, but that's gonna be your best bets running, and that means that Sayu's really nice to free-to-play players, just because the best characters to pair with Sayu are literally the free characters they give you when you start the game. Kaya, he's like your second character you get other than Amber and the Traveler. You got Kaya, which is good, and you got Zingling, which is the free character you get from doing Spiral Abyss. So yeah, Sayu's really fun character. Maybe not the best character in the world, but for a 4-star, I believe everything you want. Just because you're not playing this game to like do it as a job or anything. Like, you don't need the best out of the best every time you play. It's because everyone can demolish all the content because of how easy it is once you get late enough in the game. But Sayu's just so fun, just to ball around, just to be a baller. You could run Katahara Kazuha if you have him. Just like do like an AoE, you know, do your ultimate, and then have Sayu running around in the ultimate with with a Zingling falling around. Just have absolute maximum AoE damage. Or Venti, but Venti's good with everyone. Anyway, that's my thoughts of Sayu and good team comps to run her with. Since she's a support, it's everyone, which is easy to build around.
Take a rest while I go back.
Anywho, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe. Johnny!